So, I have a smartphone, which, for those of you who haven't seen one recently, is a little rectangle that holds every human achievement and also the one text from 2016 that keeps me up at night. It's a museum and a bully. And people will argue texting is better than calling, or calling is more human than texting, like we're discussing jazz. No, both are bad. Both are haunted. One is a haunted house. The other is a haunted house with a receptionist. Texting is the horror movie where nothing happens and you still die anyway. Calling is the jump scare where your heart sprints out of your chest and gets its own apartment. I miss when phones were anchored to a wall and screamed at the entire family like a smoke alarm. You knew the stakes. If it rang after 9 p.m., that wasn't a "hey, what's up?" That was a situation. Now your phone vibrates once and you're like, an email about socks. Vibrates again, a coupon for cheese. Vibrates a third time, grandma is in the hospital. They all sound the same. Cheese and grandma have the same ringtone in my life. But the scariest thing is when your phone rings, not vibrates, rings, and the caller ID says, Mom. That's when the soundtrack kicks in. Full violins, lightning. Your house becomes a Gothic cathedral. Because Mom doesn't text, she summons. I love a good text. I love that I can craft a sentence like it's a bomb disposal. I become a surgeon for commas. Hey, feels too aggressive. Hey, feels like a hostage note. Hey, is fine unless the smiley looks like it's lying. I once typed okay and the relationship ended. We got back together, but the okay remains in our family history like a war. Punctuation is emotional Morse code. If I text K, what I mean is I'm in an elevator and my soul is taking the stairs. But to the other person, K means we are enemies. Okay means we're throwing a surprise party. Okay means the surprise party is for your funeral. It's all very subtle. Now, the enemy of peace is the typing bubble. You know the one. The little dots, the ellipses. The bubbles are a form of torture holes in the Geneva Convention. You see those dots and think they're writing a novel. Then the bubbles disappear. And now you live at the edge of a cliff. Minutes later, the bubbles return. This is it. I'm going to learn everything I ever wanted to know about myself. Gone again. You don't receive a message. You receive a personality disorder. Read receipts? Oh, those are adorable. That feature lets you know someone read your message and made the conscious decision to let you marinate like a pork chop. You text, hey, can you make it at 7? And your phone helpfully tattletales, read 5:04 p.m. And you're like, okay, so they read it at 5:04. They will respond at 5:05 if they are a good person. It's 5:48. You write your will. You start forgiving debts. Meanwhile, calling is its own cryptid. When you call someone, you are essentially saying, hello, I would like to use your ears right now. Stop whatever profoundly important thing you're doing, like scrolling past recipes you will never make, and attend my voice. It's rude. It's bold. It's like knocking down a door and asking where the cheese is. And if someone calls you without texting first, that person has committed a socially violent act. They are a robber baron. I pick up and whisper, "Are you safe?" Because obviously they've been kidnapped. Why else would they dial numbers like a pioneer? If you call me from a landline, I assume you're trapped in a lighthouse in 1894. But the scariest call is the one that says no caller ID. That's the original horror villain. That's the phone saying, the call is coming from inside the solar system. I always pick up like I'm disarming a bomb. Hello. And it's a robot who is thrilled to talk to me. Congratulations, you've qualified. I hang up so hard the phone files for workers' comp. Now, my parents love calling. They treat texting like a cryptic riddle. My dad texts like a telegram from the Old West. Arriving. Dad. Just arriving. Arriving where? On Earth? To what? He once sent okay, and then called to say, I didn't like the period. It felt final. That's right, Dad. The period is the grim reaper of punctuation. My mother leaves voicemails. Remember voicemails? Voicemail is podcasting for two. She'll leave a 5-minute message that begins with, "It's your mother." I know. Caller ID told me. Her voice tells me. The voice that narrated my life like a documentary. She'll go, "If you get this, call me back." That's not how time works, Mom. I will get this after you have left it. There's also the group chat, which is the office break room of your soul. Group chats are where jokes go to be misunderstood. 3 text messages in, someone sends a photo of a dog wearing sunglasses and writes, "Mood." 6 hours later, your cousin asks, "Who is that dog?" You've all known each other since birth, and this is the day you discover you're not related. The chat never dies. It just accumulates birthdays like barnacles. Someone changes the group name to Girls Trip, and it's 3 a.m., and your phone is strobe lighting like a club, and you're not invited to your own sleep. I tried to be helpful once. Someone in the group text asked, "What time is the brunch?" So I wrote 11 and hit send. But I typed it in the wrong thread, the work thread. Then my boss replied, "Where?" And now I'm taking my boss to brunch. We're at a restaurant eating eggs like 2 people who met because of a clerical error. There is also the voice note, a feature invented by people who enjoy leaving a voicemail but hate responsibility. A voice note arrives like a suspicious package. You tap it, and suddenly your phone is doing a dramatic reading of a person you barely know, saying, "Sue," for 48 seconds. Then it's "anyway," and then you get a 3-act play about lunch. The play is called "I Had Lunch." No punctuation. No end. Just vibes. Autocorrect is a prankster spirit. It's your phone's way of saying, I will not be held accountable for your thoughts. I tried to text, on my way, and my phone sent, "Ow, my weasel." Which is not information anyone needs. My friend replied, "Is the weasel okay?" And now we're doing veterinary medicine. Emojis are hieroglyphics for feelings we don't deserve. There are 1,000 little faces, and all of them mean I am avoiding honesty. I love the thumbs up emoji because it says, I acknowledge receipt of your existence and will not be corresponding further. I once used the cry laugh emoji and later found out it's for parents now. The youths told me I should use the skull, as in, I'm dead. So now I write, great news, I got the job, and everyone's like, are you okay? Now, anxiety thrives in ambiguity, so texting was bred in a lab for it. I'll text someone, what time are we meeting? And immediately imagine the worst. They haven't written back. They hate me. They moved. They're in witless protection. I send a follow-up. No worries if not, which is the polite person's way of saying, this is tearing me apart emotionally. Polite people are just ninjas with manners. We will die of etiquette. Calling does have advantages. You can hear a person, you can discern tone, you can say, "Are you mad?" And the other person can lie, "No." And you can accept that like a fool. But a call requires commitment. You must hold the rectangle to your head like a small hot piece of toast and hope the other person doesn't breathe like the ocean. And the FaceTime ambush? That is criminal. Do not just pop up with my face on my own phone. At least text. Are you available for a mutual exchange of pores? Because that's what FaceTime is. Pores, the musical. Suddenly you're staring at your own chin like it's a canyon. Your friend is walking through a grocery store, and now you live in produce. The conversation is them yelling, "Can you see me?" And you yelling, "I can see too much." Let's talk about the two-factor authentication text. Nothing terrifies me more than trying to copy a 6-digit code while the code is actively fleeing. You have 30 seconds. That's the amazing race of your bathroom. You enter 63914, and your phone calmly says, "Incorrect." The phone is smug. It smirks. I can feel it smirking. I'm like, okay. Telephone, how about this? Show me all the digits you've ever had. The phone, no. And then it logs me out of my life. Sometimes a text thread becomes a courtroom. Someone writes, "We should talk." That's it. No other words. "We should talk." I see that and immediately call 911. "Operator, I have received the text of doom." The operator's like, "Sir, did they add a period? Because that changes the bail amount." "No, no period." "Okay, that's parole." "The period is jail, and ellipsis is the electric chair." The worst sentence in English is "call me." That's it. Call me. From anyone. From your boss. Panic. From your mom? Panic. From your dentist? Floss panic. From your date? Nuclear panic. Call me is a ransom note where you pay. I caught a call me from a friend who never uses punctuation. So it read "call me," but felt like "call me if you dare." I called. They needed to know if I had a coupon code for socks. Socks. We live in a society. Now me, I am conflict avoidant in a tuxedo. I will spend 10 minutes composing one text to keep the peace like I'm at the Treaty of Versailles. Hey, no rush, and totally fine if not, but if you happen to have a moment, and only if it's convenient, could you send the file whenever? Or never? Love that for us. Then I hit send and faint like a Victorian orphan. I tried to break up with someone once over the phone. Because I am a coward, but a polite coward. I thought it would be honest. I dialed. They picked up. I heard them say, "Hello." And I panicked and said, "I have a limited time offer on Windows." I became a spam call. That relationship ended weeks later via an exchange of defensive emojis. We sent each other a row of tap-dancing ladies and a melting face. The United Nations could not decipher it. I've also sent the classic accidental text to the person the text is about. And that is the quickest way to learn parkour. You will crawl up a wall and into the ceiling like a lizard. I typed, he's being weird, meant for a friend, sent to he, delivered, read, typing bubbles. I stood in my kitchen like a man awaiting a verdict. He wrote, I am. And you know what? That was fair. I deserved that poetry slam. For all its horror, there's something beautiful about the phone when it works like a bridge and not a trap. My grandmother, she calls, always calls, never a text. Her ringtone is church bells. She picks up the phone the way queens lift a goblet. Hello, darling. It feels ceremonial. The conversation meanders. The weather, the neighbor's hydrangeas, a recipe she's pretty sure is illegal. At the end, she says, I love you, and there's no misread punctuation. No bubbles, no read receipts, no skull emoji to indicate emotional death. Just the old-fashioned terror of being loved out loud. And yet, after a call like that, what do? I text her, great to talk, love you, because I am a coward made of etiquette. And she responds 3 days later, not with words, but with a photograph of her ceiling. That's her emoji for I tried. Spam texts have gotten bold. They pretend they know me. We missed you at yoga, babe. Who is we, and how are your hamstrings? Or the text that's like, your package has been delayed. Which package? I've ordered so many objects trying to become a person. Could be shoes, could be a plant I will apologize to. I click nothing. I put the phone in the freezer. It can text the frozen peas. I also love the person who texts here when they arrive to pick you up. Here. Like a gargoyle at the gate. Not I'm outside, not take your time, just here. And you drop your life. You sprint down 6 flights in socks, carrying shoes like a flamingo, shouting, I'm sorry. You open the car door. The person is not here. They are near here. Near is not here. Near is its own planet. And the one friend who writes, on my way, when they are in the shower. That phrase means nothing. That phrase is an aspiration. On my way means, we both know time is a scam. Then at 7:42 p.m., they write, be there at 7:30. Time travel via text. Incredible technology. I do admire phone people. The ones who just call. They pop in like a wheeled piano. Hi, quick question. And then they ask the quick question. And you know what? Sometimes it's lovely. You hear a laugh you wouldn't get via emoji. You solve a thing in 2 minutes that would have taken 12 years and a shared Google Doc named Final This One. You hang up and feel human. Then your phone buzzes and it's the survey. How did we do? Oh, telephone. You needy lantern. The older I get, the more I think the horror isn't texting or calling. It's that the phone never shuts up. It delivers every single kind of human experience in a font size you can accidentally butt dial. It brings birthdays, breakups, brunch plans, bank fraud, and my grandmother's ceiling. It is a haunted house that we pay a monthly fee to visit. But, and I say this with genuine sincerity, there is magic in the smallest ding. Once I had the worst week. Every message felt like a subpoena. Then out of nowhere, I got a text from a friend. Saw your favorite candy at the store. Thought of you. Proud of you. No punctuation to analyze, just kindness. I didn't need the bubbles or the skull or a thumbs up. I just needed that sentence. I called him. Immediately. He picked up and said, "Whoa, are you okay?" I said, "No, I'm calling to say thank you." and you could hear him smile. That's the difference. In a text, smiles are tiny yellow stickers. In a call, a smile has sound. So yes, texting is a horror film where the monster is the three dots. Calling is a jump scare where your mother is the director. But somewhere in the chaos, there's a little grace note. The right message at the right time. Whatever form it takes that says, I'm here. And if you ever doubt it, check your phone. It will scream at you either way. Now, if you'll excuse me, my phone just lit up. It says unknown number, the lights are flickering, violins, wind, the ceiling fan turns itself on, I answer, and a robot congratulates me on pre-approving for a yacht. I tell it, put me down for 2 because I'm feeling powerful. It says, press 9 to confirm. I press 9. It hangs up. I sit in the dark, holding the little haunted rectangle, waiting for the bubbles to appear. And just when I think I'm safe, a text from Mom call me. No punctuation. The scariest words in English. I call. She picks up immediately and says, oh good, you're alive. Quick question. Do you have that coupon code for socks? Of course I do, Mom. I've been emotionally preparing for this moment my entire life. I text it to her. She responds with a photo of the ceiling. And you know what? It's perfect. Thank you, good night. And please, for the love of all that is holy, don't reply all.